Let's see if we can find out who the glory is. Go to the Gospels. Let's go to a prayer that Mashiach prayed when he came here in the flesh to redeem us, the children of Israel. In John the 17th chapter, let's look at verse 4. We're going to concentrate on verse 5, though. For this glory of the Most High. It says, he said in John 17:4, he said, I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. So he glorified the Most High. So all praise to the Most High while he was on the earth. He said, I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. That's what he said. Verse 5. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. So he's the glory of the Most High, and he had the glory of the Most High before there was any world, because he made the worlds. Every world, Mashiach made through the power of the Most High. Look, Hebrews, go to book of Hebrews 11. Hebrews 1, Salakia, and 2. Hebrews 1 and 2. Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, Hebrews 1 and 2, who was Mashiach, whom he also appointed heir of all things, whom also he made the worlds. See? So he made the worlds, but he wanted the glory that he had with the Most High before the world was, before there was any world, earth or anything. So he the glory of the Most High, but he's that angel of the Most High that we already identified. So the Most High always sent his angel, or it's called here the glory. When you go back to Numbers 16 and 19, and Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Most High appeared unto all the congregation. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. Hear what he said? Get away from them, that I can kill them once again. Maybe you want to kill us, he was going to kill us before. He said, I'm going to kill everybody again. But he can't do that, right? He can't do that to you because you're so important, huh? You better humble yourself. He says, separate yourself from among this congregation. Get away from them. They're too high-minded, stiff-hearted, stiff-necked. Sodist children, he calls us. He says, separate yourself from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O Most High, cry unto the Most High, the power of the spirits of all flesh. Shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? Say, one man gonna sin, you're gonna be wroth with all the congregation, all the people? And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men. Like a lot of you better depart from the tents of the wicked men, or the places that you're going into to worship from wicked men. Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. Leave them alone. Don't touch nothing. You don't need nothing they have, lest you be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah to Dan and Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Most High have sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. Hear that? So you're going to know this day that the Most High sent me to do all these works. You're going to know that I didn't do them of my own mind. It's not my own mind that's bringing forth what it is you see have been done and it's going to be done. If these men die, the common death of all men, if they die of old age, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Most High have not sent me. But if the Most High make a new thing, he said, and the earth open her mouth, the earth open up her mouth, earth gonna open up and swallow them up with all the appertaining unto them, everything that they have. If the earth open up and take everything that they have, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Most High. So you got to be understanding the things that you do, that you don't want to provoke the Most High. We just read Hebrews 10:31 in the spirit. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. In Hebrews 12:29, the Most High is a consuming fire. You don't want to fall into the hands of living power. That's why it said. But if the Most High make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up, and with all that appertaining unto them, everything they own, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Most High. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, and the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up. The earth opened up and swallowed them up in their houses. Hear that? Their houses. And all the men that appertaineth unto Korah and all their gods, their goods, and their gods, because they didn't believe in the Most High. They and all that appertaineth to them went down alive into the pit. That's a plague, y'all. Went down alive into the pit. And the earth closed upon them. The earth opened up. Their houses, everything fell into that pit. And then he closed it back up. Boom. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were around about them fled at the cry of them. They could hear them crying. But they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. They know they've been hanging out with them. He said, get away from them. So they've been hanging out with them. Said, let me get away from them before the earth open up and swallow us up too. I mean, you got to imagine that in your mind. The earth opened up and took their houses, all their houses down, and then closed back up like they was never there. You can hear they can hear they cry. The earth opened up, they went down, they could hear them crying, screaming and hollering. Then the earth closed back up, burying them alive. Verse 35, and there came out a fire from the Most High and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. Once again. And there came a fire from the Most High and consumed. Remember, the Most High is consuming fire? And there came a fire from the Most High and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. Consumed them. Yep. Jump up to 41. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, ye have killed the people of the Most High. And it came to pass, when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tabernacle or the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it. Here come that chariot again. And the glory of the Most High appeared. See? Here comes that angel of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, appearing, representing the Most High. Always had an angel representing him. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. How many times? I mean, you keep hearing the same thing. But it can't happen to you. Moses said, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer, get the incense and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense. Y'all think the incense ain't important? Put on incense and go quickly unto the congregation and make an atonement for them. For there is wrath gone out from the Most High. The plague is begun. You hear that? The wrath of the Most High is plagues. He say he gonna plague this place. Plagues he gonna put upon it. We seeing them right now. How he does it, we don't know, because his ways and thoughts are not our ways and thoughts. But he said, hey, get that incense. It's very important to get that incense. Get that incense. See, a lot of y'all not really understanding. Y'all just praying, doing whatever you think, like the Most High gonna hear you. You hear what he said? These are examples. Those that have ears to hear. Go to Revelations 8. 8th chapter. We're going to look at Revelation 8 and 3. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And we talk about this, we hear about the censer that holds the incense. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. See? He put an incense in there, so the incense that we burning and praying, going to the angel, and the incense that he has is going to join in with his incense, read, and the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints. Hear that? The smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the Israelites, who are the saints. Psalms 148:14 proves who the Israelites are and who are the saints. Ascended up before the Most High out of the angel's hand. The prayers. That's why Moses is saying what? I mean, it's all here for examples for us to go by. Number 16:46. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation and make an atonement for them. For there is wrath gone out from the Most High. The plague is begun, he said. The plague is begun. And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation, and behold, the plague was begun among the people. He started killing people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living. Some people that died. He stood between the dead and the living. We burn frankincense and myrrh. That's what they brought on Mashiach Yahushua when he was born. Frankincense and myrrh. Incense. And he stood between the dead and the living. And the plague was stayed. You see? Now they that died in the plague were 14,700. I'll read you it again. And they that died in the plague were 14,700. Beside them that died about the matter of Korah, which was, 250 men plus one? Well, we don't know how many was in their families, those three men's families, you know. That's why it says, beside them that died about the matter of Korah. When the ground opened up and swallowed them up. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. See? So yeah. We better understand and overstand. Let's go to Numbers, the 21st chapter. Let's start at verse 1. And when King Arad, the Canaanite, was dwelt in the south, heard tell that Israel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. So he fought against them, took some of his prisoners. And Israel vowed unto the Most High and said, if thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. So you deliver these Canaanites into my hands, I'm going to destroy all their cities. And the Most High hearkened to the voice of Israel and delivered up the Canaanites. And they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of the place Hormah. And they journeyed from the Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. Got tired going by the land of Edom. This is the so-called white man's land. But the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. And the people spake against the Most High. And the people spake against the Most High. And the people spake against the Most High and against Moses. Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? But there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. And the Most High sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit them. They bit the people. And much people of Israel died. Poisonous snakes. You hear that? Look, go back to 1 Corinthians, 10th chapter. We read it. 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, because a lot of y'all really don't know who y'all call Jesus Christ, or Mashiach Yahushua. You really ain't knowing. Look. First Corinthians 10 and 9. It says, neither let us tempt Hamashiach, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Hear that? Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. Who was he? Hamashiach Yahushua, as the angel of the Most High, as the glory of the Most High. Going back to Numbers. You better hear the word of the Most High. Numbers 21 and 6. And the Most High sent fiery serpents. Fiery serpents. And the Most High sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people. And much people of Israel died. Sent all these poisonous snakes. Killed a lot of people, y'all. But you can think that he can't touch you if you want to. Keep doing the things that he says not righteous in his eyes. Look at how go to Deuteronomy 8 chapter. Let's look at verse 11. Say, beware that thou forget not the Most High thy power. Beware that you don't forget the Most High your power in not keeping his commandments and his judgment and his statutes, which I command thee this day, which they telling you that you're not under the law. And you hear what the Most High is going to do. You hear what he did. You think ain't nothing new under the sun. Lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein, you live in large. You praising the Most High, thinking that He's rolling with you, and you ain't keeping His laws, statutes, commandments, because He reign on the just and the unjust. He blessed the just and the unjust, but that judgment is coming. Believe this. Listen, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, that means you live in large. And thy silver and thy gold is multiplied. You got a lot of money. And all that thou hast is multiplied. Everything you have is plentiful on this earth. Then thine heart be lifted up, or your mind be lifted up. You thinking you all that and prideful. And thou forget the Most High thy power, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led thee through the great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents. See? We just read about fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint. See? You forget the Most High? Oh. Verse 17, and thou say in thine heart, my power and the might of mine hand has gotten me this wealth. A lot of people, y'all saw y'all feel. Y'all don't give the Most High the credit, because you don't know the Most High the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, so you be saying it. Who says that? He said he the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's his name forever and memorial to all generations. Who is saying that? Because once you identify him as the power of the 12 tribes of Israel, you're not of the 12 tribes of Israel, he's not your power. Who y'all talking about? Because there are many gods. You just see they said this is our God. So they made one calf talking about this is our gods that brought us up out of the captivity of the Egyptians. And thou say, verse 17, and thou say in thine heart, thou say in thy mind, my power and the might of mine hand have gotten me this wealth. But thou shalt remember the Most High thy power, for it is He that giveth thee power to get wealth, that He may establish His covenant, which He sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. And it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Most High thy power, you at all forget the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and walk after other gods as people are doing now in this day and time, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish. You're going to surely be put to death. As the nation which the Most High destroy before your face, so shall ye perish, because ye would not be obedient unto the voice of the Most High your power. Better hear what he's saying. Going back to Numbers 21. Verse 6, and the Most High sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, now you see everybody dying. Oh yeah, the Most High get our attention with death. I did a lesson on that too. The Most High get our attention by death. We have sinned. Now they crying to Moses. We have sinned. Why ain't you crying to the Most High? You see that how people go to man? Why ain't they crying to the Most High? We have sinned, but we have spoken against the Most High and against thee. Pray unto the Most High. Why ain't they praying to the Most High? Telling Moses to pray unto the Most High, that He take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Most High said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent. This the symbol of the doctors. Only they put 2 serpents on it. Make you a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. When you look upon this serpent that's on the pole, they put 2 serpents on it, copying off what we had. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole, and it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. Most High stopped the plague, because we require a sign. So, I'm going to continue this, but I'm going to conclude right now, and we'll continue this. And I'm out. Shalom.